Hello, people. We are back once again. This is not clickbait. This is really the biggest change to PvP that I've witnessed in this game in my time playing so far. The tiering council for UU decided that the current slate of the tier was so scuffed that they should release every Pokemon on the underused ban list. This, of course, doesn't include Pokemon that are overused by usage like Darmanitan or Kingdra, but Lucario, Haxorus, Porygon 2, Kabutops, Togekiss, and Staraptor are all free. Since I haven't played the UU tier very much myself, I am joined here by two qualified underused players, Scott and Subsy, who have their own channel called The Daily Throw, which will be linked in the title. You guys can say hello to the people.
Hello, gamers.
Hello, Spigioto fans.
As underused professionals, do you think that the tier warranted this kind of drastic change?
You want me to start, Subsy, or?
Yes, as the UU prophecy god, Scott Toji, number 10 on the ladder.
Number
like
10
it's
on the
right.
ladder. Oh,
Or
I think
8,
I'm not.
9.
Don't cut me short.
we'll
Okay,
check.
sorry.
Hold on. Let's
Number
see.
9.
Leaderboards, underused. Yep, Scott Toji, number 9.
So Scott will give his take, and then me, as a more casual UU player, I will probably disagree with him. So you can
Okay,
go ahead
sounds
and
good.
start.
Excellent, excellent.
I mean, I'm like 50-50 on whether the tier warranted it or not. A lot of people complain that, like, oh my god, people are playing Hippo, Blissey, Stall, and it's like, well, on one hand, it's like Hippo, Blissey plus Poliwrath, Mence, Bisharp isn't a stall team, it's a balanced team. So I think people in MMO just like kind of don't really know the difference between the two. They see like two Fatmons and they, you know, throw a fit. And there were like a lot of ways to break it. I mean, people kind of didn't explore some of the lesser options, like Sub Nasty Plot Miss Magius was like one of the best mons in the tier by the end of the season because it just took down that core like nobody's business. So, you know, there were ways to do it, but I also think that it is nice to have this kind of change in the tier. So it'll be interesting to see for sure.
Miss Magius does have a 56.78% win rate. That's pretty good. That's up there with the other, that's actually higher than anything I see in these current top UU guys, who will surely all be invalidated by the, actually no, Hippo's higher, 57.78. Wow.
Yeah, Hippo's kind of broken, but...
Well, hopefully Hippo will still be broken in the face of Lucario and Haxorus and Staraptor. I saw in the post they were actually considering keeping Bronzong, moving him up to OU, because he was OU by usage, I think. But I think people realized that if you take out Bronzong and then you put these bird types in, there's like no steel in the tier anymore.
No, it would have been terrible. It would have been terrible.
Fortress doesn't resist bird as a steel type. Rotom Heat, I guess.
They had Empoleon, moved Empoleon up. Then it was like, okay, Bronzong, this is our only reliable steel type. So then they ran like a quick ban vote or whatever, and it failed. So then they brought it back down to UU, I believe. But they said it's the post that you have linked on the forum, Spidget. It's on like page 3. The mod says that Bronzong will be held in a new policy. It's still being worked on, but it's sitting at just 0.17% over the cutoff. So Bronzong...
So they said it's close enough that we can justify keeping our steel?
Yeah, so that's
the weird
where
thing
it's
is, though, this has never been done before. So, like, this isn't... Like, this is very new to everybody that they're just stopping.
Yeah, this is unprecedented, right? That's very cool. Completely unprecedented territory here.
Is it cool?
Yeah, because, okay, for me, as somebody that has been playing for, what, 7 months, I've only seen the Doug Trio ban in terms of change. I feel like this is kind of more significant, an entire ban list being removed, because this is also going to impact never used, because Pokemon from underused will drop down. And I've heard people complain about the underused tier, I think, more than any other, aside from overused, when I'm also complaining about overused. So I'm excited to be part of a developing metagame. I feel like I kind of got here too late as somebody that got here 7 months ago, and there hasn't really been any drastic metagame shifts that I could have been a part of. Removing a ban list means that anybody who gets in at the, the ground floor, they all get to be a part of a developing metagame, even if some of these guys get quick banned in a week, which I think would be crazy since, I haven't seen Tiering Council move so fast in my entire time being here.
So my only problem with this kind of unprecedented huge move, it's going to cause a lot of like really stupid play early in the season, I think.
Absolutely, yeah, it's going to be chaos.
You're just gonna like see Donphan plus 5 setup mons, and it's gonna win, and it's gonna be really annoying to those players who are used to. I mean, that's the whole thing about adapting too, that you have to adapt. But it'll be interesting to see like if some of the players from last season start complaining about stuff like that, where they're used to these bulkier teams and they're just getting run over because of it.
Absolutely, it's definitely more offensive Pokemon that are getting dropped here, the majority of them. Porygon 2, sure, but that's still a pretty hard hitter, especially with download. But Haxorus with Mold Breaker, now Haxorus is a bit of a meme on this Fidget channel, as I'm sure you guys know, but Haxorus Mold Breaker would actually break stall in Underused because these guys use unaware Pokemon. Lucario, Staraptor, these are breakers.
Unreal. Haxorus is going to be very, very, very good. Yeah, Haxorus might be a little too much, I think, but because people forget, so I've been trying out Dragon Dance taunt sets with leftovers, and people forget it gets taunt, so they go Kaffa or whatever, they get taunted, they can't do anything, you get to +6 and you win. So, yeah, it's kind of scary.
Oh, right, because it's playable right now, these new Pokemon.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't really understand why. I kind of figured it would come up at the end of this season when the ladder reset, but these underused Pokemon are already unbanned, so like if I open a spectate, we see Lucario. And that's is that the only guy? It is actually. Other than that, we have a nice honest battle.
Next to this guy, so this is what I was saying earlier. Next to that guy's Lucario, it's fainted, but that is a Sableye. Like, upon first glance to me, Sableye looks like it's going to be really good into this meta, just completely shutting down Lucario and Haxorus. Like, they can never set up.
Yeah, threatening Encore as well as having fast Wisp is definitely going to be very relevant for these incredible threats, and I agree that it's going to be chaotic, and offense is this might come as a surprise since I might seem like a hyper offense spammer, but it's not fun if hyper offense is the best style. You need a balance, and I think that in the first few days it's definitely going to be very chaotic until they decide to make some sort of tiering move. But until then, I'll be interested in seeing all the meta adaptations people come up with, like Sableye, like you're saying.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that the tier council needs to worry about and or look at is like how the other playstyles function with these drops, because like you said, a good metagame is one where you can run hyper offense, balance, and stall and be okay. So I think it's interesting. I think it'll be interesting to see.
Interesting, maybe from an outsider perspective. I'm sure for all the underused players, they're probably annoyed that their metagame is going to get messed up until the first tiering action hits. But I think I saw the moderator who posted say that they'll be monitoring things pretty closely and will be willing to quick ban within a few days if need be. So that would be crazy to me to see them actually act so fast. I feel like these guys move at a slug's pace.
They do.
Okay, so I have a question for Scott. Obviously, in this tier right now, before the change, we have mons like Ment, Entei, what do you think happens now with these? Do you think these still like are at the top of the statistics in every team? Like, how do you think these new mons mesh with those?
I mean, I think it's gonna come down to. I think Lucario is gonna be number one. I think that thing is broken. I think Lucario is more broken than Haxorus. I think Entei is going to kind of be like an equalizer, though. Because it's faster than Lucario, and I haven't seen the E-Speed calcs yet, but that kind of, I think it just kind of depends on if E-Speed can kill, and if it doesn't, then Sacred Fire obviously kills. And then you have to look at something like, where was I going with this? Oh, something like Entei can E-Speed check Haxorus too, so, you know.
Yes, I think that's why I agree with you saying that Lucario will be better than Haxorus in this metagame, because while Haxorus, you know, smashes walls, Lucario smashes walls and also has extreme speed. Yes. And in what I think is going to be obviously a very offense-dominated metagame, I think that extreme speed is going to be incredibly valuable, and I agree that Entei will still be good for that reason. Salamence, I also think, sorry to interrupt you, will be decent with Intimidate Rocky Helmet. Maybe we'll see an increase in that.
I think we're going to see more Scarfments.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
Because if you switch it in at +1, Haxorus getting a +1, you still outspeed. Whereas if you switch it into Haxorus getting the +1 in your helmet, then you're just
dead anyway. You're right.
You're I've tried Scarfments a bit. It's okay so far, but it's kind of it's worse into some other teams that are better equipped to face, you know, Ments in general.
Lucario is probably going to be rocking Ice Punch anyway, so it probably won't even be good for checking Lucario. Rocky Helmet probably won't be it actually at all. Tough.
Well, I haven't decided, but you're going to run SD, CC, E-Speed, and then you're going to run something like Meteor Mash, Crunch, or Ice Punch. And then I also think Nasty Plot sets are going to be better than SD sets just because of like what can switch into them. Like if you go Blissey, you lose to the Nasty Plot set regardless. So I
really,
yeah, because +6 Aura Sphere just demolishes Blissey.
I'm getting Thunder Waved and losing.
Plus, we can run the calc right now. I think +4 Nasty Plot does what, like 40, 50%, 40% to Blissey?
I'm sure it does more than that.
Yeah,
and you're not even going to want to switch your Blissey into a Lucario to begin with, so it's going to get an extra free turn.
Assume, yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing that the Vacuum Wave set doesn't have going for it is like full speed Ments can just flamethrower you. So that's where it'll get a little tricky.
Do you guys think Togekiss is going to be as crazy as the people on the forums are saying?
Yeah.
I think that if they didn't, I think this was the main reason why they said they were going to go Bronzong to OU and then they canceled it, was because if they got rid of Bronzong, nothing would have been able to check Togi, like, or not get tricked. Like, so I think that's why they had to keep it, but I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. I think there's a few answers, and like I said, especially with Bronzong now, like,
I think Toge is going to be the ultimate stall breaker. Just like Calm Mind or Nasty Plot and Heal Bell, just make it so good. So I think that'll be really interesting to see.
Yeah, if you run a bulky team, which I mean is going to be pretty hard in this offense-centric new metagame, but you're right. It'll get absolutely shredded by something like Roost, Heal Bell, Setup Move, Air Slash.
Right.
All I really see is Bronzong and Rotom Heat in terms of bird resist. And Raikou, I guess. That counts?
So, CM, Raikou, and Nasty Plot Rotom Heat are going to come up in usage a lot, I think. I don't know about Zong being a good check to Togekiss because it's just going to get hacks down anyways, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So on that perspective, it kind of just depends, I think.
I wonder if we'll see an increase in Inner Focus Umbreon. It appears that 94% of them are currently running Synchronized, which makes sense. But you could run Inner Focus to not get flinched, but it's not like you're really doing much back to a Togekiss anyway. If it has Heal Bell, you're screwed either way.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Toge is going to be one of those mons where I think you'll see more Gigalith too, but in return, I think you'll see Aura Sphere Togekiss, which will be kind of funny. But I think it still walls the shit out of it. You just can't get hacks down. I was running some calcs, and Impish Rhyperior is kind of the wave right now with Rocky Helmet because it just demolishes Raptor. I'm trying to click Brave Bird, and it's kind of a check to the broken mon that is Togekiss.
Oh, excuse me. No, Rhyperior definitely looks good into a bunch of the new ones. I agree with you.
I think the only problem is going to be for Rhyperior is A, getting hacks down, and B, Lucario. So you'll need a fighting check.
I'm slapping on the Choppleberry and I'm killing that Lucario. Then it clicks Meteor Mash and I die anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're also going to see your eyes on Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen's going to be good.
2.26, 45%. You think for Togekiss?
No, not for Togekiss. I think for special variants of Lucario.
Does Nidoqueen have like Moonlight in this dumb game or something?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. I was trying to think, like, is there any way they gave this mon a reliable form of recovery? Okay, understood. My showdown build brain was like doing acrobatics trying to figure out how Nidoqueen was gonna be doing stuff. But if it has a reliable form of recovery, I agree with you for sure.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Moonlight's kind of reliable.
No, it is, definitely.
Pray for
no hippo.
Yeah, no hippo. What Moonlight recovers more in which weather?
Sun.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so just don't run into rain.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of rain, you know who's... Go ahead, you can say him.
I never want to see Kabutops a day in my life. I hope they ban it. I hope that thing is the first thing banned.
83% win rate!
Already?
He's got 12 uses. They're running rain.
Bad. That's so bad.
Yes, Kabutops is ridiculous. I agree with this. I think it's fun. Listen, this is my thing though. Someone on the forum said it. I forget who it was. Wish I could give them credit, but they said like the reason why Mons drop to UU is because they cannot shine in OU.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it's busted in UU, it's like if it goes back up to OU, it's never gonna get used. UU is the place for these mons to shine, unless something is absolutely like this is way too OP and needs to be banned. But it's on a weather team. Like there's ways to play around it. I don't think it's gonna be game breaking. I think it's gonna be good, but it deserves to be here.
Rain's gonna smoke the offenses, and I agree with that line of thinking completely. You can't keep the underused tier the way it is forever. By definition, as like a middle tier, stuff is gonna move up and down through it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I think Kabutops in rain might be a little problematic.
Absolutely. No, it's gonna run over these offenses, definitely.
Because like it resists East. That's another reason why I think Nasty Plot Lucario is going to be better, is because Vacuum Wave at least does something to it.
Oh, you're spitting. This guy's going to resist the extreme speeds, but the special Lucarios with Vacuum Wave will be able to check this guy a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah, so I honestly, this might sound crazy. I might run Jolly Kabutops outside of rain just to counter team rain. No, I'm kidding. I won't do that shit, but it did cross my mind for a second. I am a little scared of Kabu because mostly they're going to run SD, Jet, Waterfall, and Stone Edge, but I've also seen, so like you can wall it with like Bold Shaman, which is actually pretty good. But then you run into that one freak on the ladder who's running like Leech Life, and you just get smoked because of it.
Dude,
so.
I've ran X Scissor on it before in OU though for Hydreigon.
Yeah,
And
X Scissor, Leech Life,
Superpower.
whatever.
I've seen a lot of people use Spin on it.
Look at this too.
Sorry
Literally-
to
yeah.
sorry to interrupt this, but we have breaking news. I just opened a game and I see Diglett Shedinja.
So here's my thing with Diglett Shedinja is Diglett doesn't trap Hippo.
True.
Like it's never gonna beat Hippo no matter what.
Not
So
even
I
with
don't think-
Endeavor, you can just toxic that guy and recover forever.
Yeah, you can. Oh, well, and plus you have Helmet, so you kill it.
True.
Yeah, so I don't see this kind of structure being too much of an issue. If it does become like more playable and people find a way to actually use it, I will shoot the computer.
If you were gonna run this, why wouldn't you run Porygon 2 a port? Also, why has he got triple bird?
I don't know, but
double
while
defog.
we're on this game, Love R&B is like a top 3 UU player in the game, and he kind of just like slapped Lucario onto like a common core team. You want to speak on that, Scott?
This looks like the rank 1 team that I opened before. Like, I think it's the same 6.
He's always been running Hippo Bliss and then a couple other mons. Yeah, he was the one who started using Hippo Bliss, Poly, Bisharp, Mence, and one other. So I'm not surprised to see him using something similar to it in that sense. Sableye is new, Raikou is new, and Lucario is new. I think he's under the assumption too that Raikou is there for Toge. What's that dumb mon's name? Sableye's there for like Haxorus and whatchamacallit, Haxorus and Lucario, and then Lucario is, I think he thinks is the most broken one too, which I would agree with.
As an outsider looking in, I have to agree that Lucario will probably be the most broken just due to its set variety and the combination of being able to break past these common bulky cores as well as, you know, be strong versus the offense-centric teams that are going to get spammed with these dropped Pokemon.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of HO to start the season. Which I don't know how I feel about. I'm not a huge fan of playing HO, but we'll see.
My favorite style is bulky offense, which might come as a surprise to PokeMMO viewers. But you can't really play it in OU. So I agree that if you play hyper offense, you really just match up fishing in the same way as like hard stall kinda, but you're doing it faster at least.
Yeah, I don't know. It should be interesting.
So I get the adversity. It's all these Pokemon unfortunately are offensive. And oh yeah, we're gonna see Donphan of 5 setup guys, but hopefully the meta can adapt quick enough that we see something better than the old UU metagame, or the Tiering Council actually follows through on their word and bans the brokens.
I doubt it. I don't know. I think people are just going to be like, oh, it's good for the tier. It's good for the tier. And then, you know.
I think also from like in somewhat of an outside perspective, I think for the more casual UU player, this is like amazing. For people like you, Scott, like that grind UU, like it's not as fun to you because you're getting thrown into the chaos.
Timmy 1, 2, 3 using Like
You're
that's-
getting thrown
Oh,
into
yeah.
the chaos with everyone else. So to you, it's like, it's almost like it's not your tier anymore.
No.
So you have to readjust according. You're just getting thrown into the fire with everyone. But
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. I think this has so much potential. I think it's good. Now it's in the devs' hands. Will they react accordingly?
Surely, if you're going to unban everything and say that you will watch and ban if you need to within the first few days, you will actually do so. Surely.
Which
Sure.
they should. They said they will. They should. If not, but I think this has so much more potential to be good. I think, like you said earlier, Spidget, this will also affect NU a ton. So I think it's good. These are the two, like, if you look at the games played, OU has like 20 times both UU and NU combined. Like, this is good for the long term. Like,
Way more, actually. It's got...
Yeah, I think it'll be better for the long term. I think it just needs. I think, myself included, everyone's gonna be like up in arms, and they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, like this is so broken." But I think after a month or two, I think people will find like a good balance between the mons. So I think that'll be good.
I agree with you guys.
definitely.
Is that everything? Did we actually cover like everything we could talk about in like a timely fashion?
Oh, we didn't talk about what NU is gonna look like in a little bit.
Okay, that's true. So what do you guys think will get invalidated and underused to the point where it will drop down to NU by these drops?
For alligator. What else?
I guess he will get outclassed as a Dragon Dance guy.
Yeah. For alligator, let's take a peek at Durant. I think Durant. Well, Durant's weird because it's really fast, so I think it has a place because of that. But I think it's outclassed on a breaking side of things.
For Alligator, looks like it would go pretty hard in NU.
It would get insta banned, I think. But
No. Yeah, you're right.
I think you're gonna see less Quag.
Oh yeah, the unawares will probably fall off.
Quag was NU what? Some time ago, like a couple months ago.
Yeah,
Quag
so
was NU.
a little bit before I started playing NU, I was told that Quagsire was in there, and the games played per month were a lot lower.
Yeah, I think people didn't like Quag and NU, but you know what's really interesting to me is Quag and Gastro are two mons that like will go OU 1 month and then be untiered the next month for some weird reason. So I'll be curious to see how that works out.
Quagsire, I think, would
any
definitely.
mons in NU are going to come up as a potential check to some of these.
I really
mons.
agreed with the Gigalith comment for Togekiss, because it looks like Gigalith already has a lot of usage in Underused. So something like maybe the Togekiss and Staraptor, even maybe as Copium, these guys dropping might increase the use of Gigalith. And it already looks like it's a Pokemon. It looks like it has a place in the UU tier already, so...
Looks like it's a Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, he's got usage, he's got a win rate.
I think you'll see Mismag too, because I think Mismag is really good into like it's got such a great speed tier being at
110.
105.
What? Oh yeah, you're right. It's not 110. I'm out of my mind. It's 339, isn't it? My fault.
What other mons from NU could rise up? Sneaky, I think Rotom regular, which I think people are sleeping on.
Rotom regular in underused. It looks like he's got 1.323%.
Yeah, I just think it's a decent, like, it's a fighting resist. It's a Togekiss check. It does a lot of things really well, and I think it's going to be underused.
This is
By
blanking
the-
Lucario pretty hard also, just its natural typing of Electric
Yep.
Ghost.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you know, I think it'll be underexplored by players, but I think it'll definitely be useful, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's the #1 Enumon by like a mile.
It's
No,
Hitmontop. Rotom is second.
Hitmontop, yeah.
Yeah, Hitmontop goes crazy. This is Hitmontop's tier.
It is Hitmontop's. I don't like Enu that much. Subsy loves it. I can't play that stuff, man. Oh, yeah, I just looked at the stats again. I have to throw this mon out there. Mold Breaker Druddigon with rocks is going to be really good into that stupid
Shedinja stack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Someone posted in my Discord a picture of, it was Lucario, right? Let me just scroll up and find this. Where's that cancer at? I'm trying to see those 6. Hold on. Diglett, Xatu, Porygon 2, Shedinja, Togekiss, and Servine. What kind of sicko do you have to be to pull up with the Servine on your Shedinja stack?
That's horrible.
So terrible, dude.
That team has no bird resist. So.
No, but it doesn't need one because.
Shouldn't, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Even with the Diglett Shedinja, I'm still excited to see what else gets brought out from these underused bands.
Yeah, I think ladder is going to be chaotic for a while. I'm curious to see like what the first couple tourneys are going to look like.
Absolutely.
That's where people are really going to like see stuff that's good, and then I feel like a lot of copying and pasting is going to be going around, but like
right when we said
first couple tourneys, then the meta is going to shift crazy. Absolutely.
Right when we're talking about Lucario, I was able to spectate his game. He's getting smoked by rain. Rest in peace.
He's playing a good player too. Coco's a good player.
Oh, what a sick team.
What is that last Monlock is running?
He's running Druddigon. He was talking about Mold Breaker Druddigon, so that's probably what he's got.
Oh, yeah, he's probably worried about that stall team, and now he's getting walled like Porygon 2 because of it. Actually, his Raikou might just win if he doesn't take a lot of chip here. I might have lied though. Raikou might get smoked by Kabu.
Yeah, I think that Kabutops is going to come in and kill this dog. I'm not going to lie.
Unless he's sub.
Oh, if he's sub, he might win. You're right.
If this guy teleports into Kabu, yeah, it's over.
It's over.
GG, well played. Yep.
Maybe you can go into Cloyster and hope that it's choiced. And he clicks Waterfall.
No chance. Any edge dodgers here?
He's going to Waterfall, just go Cloyster.
P2 and Zong together. Do you think UU Trick Room is now possible, Scott?
So, one of our friends, Soft Creamy Fluff, was saying that Trick Room might be really good into all this offense, too.
That absolutely, yeah. That's why I say that Trick Room is a good fish in Overuse, just because of all of the offense. And I'm not just saying that because I have PTSD from Soft Creamy Fluff. 6-0ing me with Infiltrator Chandelure, minimum speed behind Trick Room.
I just don't know how, like, or what breakers you're going to use on that. Like, you have, I guess, Machamp. What else do you have in the tier that kind of breaks like that?
I don't know.
I guess Brave Bisharp. Could run Rampardos. Like, what?
Embor?
Embor.
You could bring up the Marowak.
I see people bring Embor to like every tier, and I think he's pretty funny, so maybe they'll pull up with him in Underused too.
Embor's funny. Embor's one of those mons where it like does way too much damage for being as asset as it is, and then
he's got a 40% win rate.
When the Embor OU video, Spidget.
Yeah, not anytime soon, I'm afraid.
That's too bad. That's really too bad.
All right, we've now been yapping for over half an hour. Do you guys think that we've covered everything that we could talk about with this Underused drop?
Yeah, very sufficient.
Yeah, I think we covered everything. Will you be participating in this OUCC?
Yes, I will be participating in this OUCC.
Okay,
I'll
just
probably
because you had it open, I had to ask.
I'll probably go live in like an hour. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. If you guys, the viewers, want to check out more PvP content creators, make sure you check out Scott and Subsy's channel, The Daily Throw, which will be linked in the title. If you guys enjoy these sorts of discussion videos, make sure you let me know in the title. If you guys somehow actually got to the end of this video, write a nice comment saying, yippee, woohoo, I watched all the way till the end. All right, guys, have a good one, and thank you for watching.